Welcome back to another video. My name is Henrik and today we're going to be looking at the Dacia Duster in the third generation. You can see lots has changed and we're going to talk you through all of it. We're not going to be able to mention the price, but claimed is under 20,000 because that is still a Dacia premises that they want to keep the prices low and it's going to be the lowest in the segment. So there's quite a lot to see, so let's get right into it. Let's first of all start off with the different engines variants that you can get. So the biggest one, because it is on the new CMF-B platform where also the Jogger is on, you can see a video up there if you want to check that out. You also have the Sandero on there, so Dacia is trying to bring all of them in the future towards that platform. It allows for the mild hybrid system, a full hybrid system. The full hybrid system that we have in here is the 140 variant now, which is going to allow you to have a motor in here, which is a 1.6 liter four-cylinder engine, which is going to produce 94 horsepower in combination with two generators or one battery, which is a 1.2 kilowatts an hour battery, and a motor in here for the electric one, which is going to be a 49 horsepower battery and a 48 volt starter generator, so you're going to be able to use a little bit of that electric variant. The other one is going to be the TCE 130, which is going to allow you to have an all-wheel drive and a front-wheel drive system. That is only going to be in manual, so the only way that you can get an all-wheel drive version for this is going to be in the manual way. That motor is going to be a 1.2 liter three-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine. And that's also going to give you that total of a 130 with the mild hybrid system. That is going to give you another 48 volt starter generator. There has been a little bit of a change, so the battery is no longer a 0.9 kilowatts an hour battery, but a 0.8 kilowatts an hour battery. And then the lowest one you can get is the Eco G, which is an LPG variant with a petrol, so a 50 liter petrol tank and a 50 liter LPG tank, giving you range up to 1,300 kilometers. So the variants are still the same. You have the Expression, you have the Essential for the bottom ones, and then the upper ones are going to be the Extreme and also the Journey. Extreme is here and then the Journey is over there, which I will show you a little bit of close-ups as well. Let's take a look at the back first. You can see this one is the front-wheel drive version in the Extreme variant, and you can see that gives you a little bit of a copper design element on there. And you can see there's obviously no license plate, but you can also see there's a lot of Y shapes in this car, and you can see that, for instance, in the lights here. So that's one of the new design language that they want to speak to, is with this Y shape. We'll see that all over the car. And then you can see also down here big protectors, which is dyed in mass, meaning it's not going to have that, like scratches are going to be on there obviously because scratches don't just disappear, but you're not going to see them because it's dyed under there, so it's the same color. If we open the trunk, it's not automatically. That's obviously a Duster. You have a little bit more storage space, which is nice. Because of the new CMF-B platform, that allows for a little bit more storage space. So you have 6% more storage space in here, which is now 472 liters, so 27 liters more than the previous model, however, only for the front-wheel drive version. You can see because we have the Extreme variant, you also get like these very matte things in here, because the Extreme variant is more for people who want a little bit more extreme off-roading and stuff like that. And the other pretty cool thing is that you now get is YouClip. So you can see up here we have like this clipping system, and you can see we have like this 3-in-1 box. And because there's no light in the back, and if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you want to put this on here, you can put that on there, and then you have a light in there. You can also put your jacket up there, or you can also put a phone holder up there, but that makes no sense because that phone is just going to fall out. But you have those in there. You can also put them down here, so you can have another one in there, and on the other side you can have like this hanger coat in there if I put it on the wrong way, the right way. And there you go, you can put your jacket on there, which is pretty cool, and I really do like those features. And with the new platform, you also get a little bit of change in the dimension, but basically nothing apart from the height, which is now 4 centimeters less. So it's around 1.66 m, or if you want to be precise, 1.65.6 m. And the ground clearance is also 21.7 for the Extreme, for the all-drive variant, and for the other variants, it's going to be 8 millimeters less. The wheelbase is also shrunken by 1.5 centimeters, so a little bit less, but you actually get more space in the interior, which is pretty cool because of that new platform. We also have the sandstone color on here, which is a pretty cool color. The Journey one is in the Dolomite gray, or Dolomite gray, which is a pretty cool color as well. You can see a couple of new things. For instance, we have like these Renault Clio handles in the back now, which I'm not the biggest fan of because they're a little bit hard to reach sometimes, and you got to get used to them. And you also have real door handles now, like those sturdy ones, which I really, really like. So a little bit more up value. Extreme variant, you also get some more copper elements down here, which is pretty nice. And we also have a 360-degree camera system in here, which is also pretty cool. Again, we have this new design language when it comes to the side here, which is called the Starkel, which was engineered with some Dacia clever people there. and you can see if you go a little bit closer, it is out of 20% recycled materials, as you can also see up there. And you can see I have like this white touches to it, which means it's uncolored, but it looks pretty cool, and it's just very robust and allows you to use the car wherever you want, especially if you have the extreme variant. When it comes to the tires, we also have 18-inch tires now, which is the first time that we have them on here. And these look pretty cool with the extreme variant. The Journey ones look a little bit different. You get 16 or 18-inch wheels now. And one thing that's also new is you get disc brakes in the front and also in the back, which is another thing that is also new instead of like those drum brakes. One thing that has also changed, more off-road capabilities. You now have an approach angle of 20 or 31 degrees, a departure angle of 36 degrees, and also a breakover angle of 24 degrees, which has grown a little bit. And you also get an assist when it comes to downhill driving and also uphill driving up to 30 kilometers, which also works in the reverse gear, which is pretty cool. When it comes to the front, you can see it looks a lot like the Bigster concept, but that is obviously going to change a little bit. So the design is going to be a little bit different, but you can see we have like this big air vents on the side here, which do go through. They're not fake, and they look pretty cool. We have LED lights on the top, and one thing that you can again see is you have this Y shape in there as well, which again we'll see on the interior as well. The other thing that I really do like is the way they shaped the bonnet on here, which has like this indent in there, makes it look like a big V8 under there. Looks pretty cool. And then also down here this big front grille. In general, the design just looks very, like, I really like it. It looks a lot more modern, looks a lot more, it like speaks to more people, you know what I mean? It just looks really, really good. So interior, lots of change as well. We're in the extreme variant, so there's a lot of things that are going to be looking a little bit more off-roady. And for instance, you also have the copper wiring up on here with the Y-shaped design in there. Again, you have a big Dacia logo on here, which I really like. This is going to look blue in the, for instance, the Journey variant, which might throw a couple people off, but I think it still looks pretty good. The blue one depends on your personal preference. We have a big new infotainment display in here, which is a 10.1 inch display. If you have the lower trim version, so the Expression or the Essential, you're only going to have a 3.5 inch TFT display, which is going to be in between your analog display, which you also get in the lower ones. You get a full digital cockpit, which is 7.1 inch display in the higher trims, which I really, really like. And there's a lot of information that you can show on there as well. We'll look at that in a little bit more in depth in a second. Further down, you can see again, you have these grills, which are going to be in copper once again, and buttons down here, which I really like. And they also have this, like, listen to that. That is really, like, I really like that sound. It sounds really good. And down here we also have a 6-speed manual gearbox. We have an inductive loading space, which you get with the higher trims, and 2 USB-Cs and also a 12-volt charging port in there. Lots of storage space down here, a little bit of storage space. You still got the old key fob, which I'm not the biggest fan of. And one thing that they didn't also change is the way you select your music, which I'm also not the biggest fan of because I've never really liked this style and just makes the car look a little bit more old. And you also have 2 cup holders in here, which I like. And these seats, again, you get these with the extreme variant. So these are washable TEP micro cloud fabrics, and they feel like, well, like, how do you say that, like neoprene, or like these like when you go into the water and you want to stay cold, you want to stay warm, that's how they feel, like waterproof stuff, and they feel really nice. I really like them. Good quality. You can see obviously they got to save somewhere, so they still have a lot of hard plastic, but the material in general went up a lot and it feels a lot more high quality. You can see on the steering wheel they also changed the design a little bit. You have a flatten on the top and also on the bottom, but the buttons on here are still the same. You now also get standard speed limiter and also a cruise control. You get those standard on all models, which is nice. And considering it's a cheap car, you still get a lot of safety features, which I'm going to pop on the list on there. On the side you also get the same material that you get on here on your seats, which are different on all the variants, and you can see the color. There's again the Y shape on the door handle there, again a complete Y shape in there, which looks pretty interesting. You also now have height adjustable passenger seats, which is pretty cool. And you also can see we have like this, we have a new head roof, or like a roof, which is the same as, for instance, in the Renault Clio. So a little bit more high quality in here, which is very, very nice. And what's also nice is it's tilted a little bit towards you, so it's a little bit nicer to see. You also now have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in here, which is wireless, which is really nice. And the touchscreen is very responsive, as you can see. like that is very responsive. This is a pre-production car, so it might even change a little bit, but this is pretty responsive, which I like. The other thing that you can see, you have this all-road info, which is pretty cool. So that's going to show your, it's in German right now, but your lateral tilt, your pitch and downhill, like uphill and downhill pitch. It's going to show your power distribution between your front and rear wheel drive. Obviously because you're only going to be able to get the full power distribution if you have the all-wheel drive variant. And you also get the downhill assistance in there. You now get 5 different drive modes, which are going to be mud, snow, sand. You have like off-road, you have eco, and you also have auto, I think. Yeah, I'm not totally mistaken. I think those are the correct ones. And let's quickly look at this as well. So you have a couple of different displays you can put on here. I hope the camera is okay, you're not shaking too much, but you can change between a couple of things. You can navigation, eco monitor, distance. You can have a lot of stuff in there, which is pretty nice. So you might expect, because the car is a little bit lower, you might not get that much headroom, but you still got plenty of headroom. I'm 1.80 m tall, or 1.79 m, which is 5'11", so not 6 foot, but I got plenty of headroom, which is really nice. And you also have a good amount of legroom. You get 3% or 3 centimeters more legroom in here, which, well, it's not that noticeable, but you can definitely feel this is adjusted to me in the front. So again, 1.80 m, 5'11", and you got quite a good amount of space. A little bit of storage space. You got a YouClip system in here as well. You got 2 USB-Cs down there, and also these mats again, which come with the Extreme variant, just to get those mud protection. And again, these washable TEP micro cloud in here, which feel really, really nice. I really like them. But you don't actually get the Y design on the back, so you can't see any indication down here of the Y design in the back, which is interesting. And one thing I did forget to mention on the outside is the roof capacity. You have 80 kilograms with the Extreme variant. You get a modular system, so that's going to allow you to just move it parallel or vertical. That way. You know what I mean. Now it's your turn. What do you think of the new Dacia Duster? Let me know down in the comments. Would love to hear from you. And also, if you're new, make sure to like and subscribe. Would really appreciate all of the support for the future videos. Have a good one. Until then, bye-bye.